Hey everybody, HG Shapes here. I'm back with another video. A few new products to talk to you about today, as well as one product that I have already reviewed. So let's start with the main feature today, the Rockwell 6S. This is kindly on loan to me from Michael Friedberg. Thank you, Michael, for offering to send this to me. He knew how much I liked the 6C and wanted me to try out the stainless steel sort of higher end version of this razor. The head design, in terms of the geometry, is exactly the same as the 6C. Some noticeable differences include that they include the Rockwell name on the sides of the base plate there, and otherwise it just feels much more sturdy overall, and I think part of that has to do with the fact that this is considerably heavier. This is almost 120 grams when it's all put together, which is quite a bit, whereas I think the 6C is maybe closer to 90 grams, thereabouts. So yeah, it's taken some getting used to this week using this razor just because of the weight, though I am quite familiar with the head geometry. And so yeah, I'll give you some more notes on this as we go throughout the shave, but that's the Rockwell 6S. And let's see, next up is this custom synthetic brush. The pour itself of the resin here was done by JohnB, a well-known member in the shaving community, and it was turned by Steven of Dogwood Handcrafts. I stole this handle shape design also from Michael Friedberg. He had Steven do a custom for him where he did this sort of, as he called it, I believe, an exaggerated hourglass shape. I also have big hands, and those small chubby handles shapes are somewhat comfortable for me, but it's never super comfy. So found that with this new shape I can really, there's just a lot of, material for me to grasp onto, and so far it has proven to be quite comfortable, despite it may not look that way. It has been quite comfortable for me. That's the brush. I have already talked about Kaw Fougere Mania on this channel before, but to remind everybody who maybe hadn't seen my review of this, this is in their Sierra base, which contains just a whole laundry list of ingredients, various types of animal milk, animal fat, butters. I mean, like, that's how long the ingredients are. And similarly, the scent profile on this, in terms of individual notes, has, 10, 15 notes. But I can tell you that in the more simple way to describe it, it's just a very kind of soapy, clean, bright Fougere smell. And yeah, I think it's a nice take on the Fougere genre. Finally, today we'll be closing the shape out with Barrister and Mann Reserve Classic in the old square bottles. And it's got kind of a cool razor head design deal here. And yeah, I had always wanted to try out the Reserve line of Barrister and Mann splashes, which do vary obviously with their Deltas counterparts. And so look forward to using this, and again, I'll talk to you more about it in the post-shave department. So for now, I'm gonna wet my face and get the brush wet through, and then I'll show you a little bit of the lathering process with this brush and the soap. Okay, so I've wet the brush through, shaken out some water, and then what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna start loading directly onto the tub for about 15 seconds, and I'm gonna stop and show you something. As you can see, it's forming some little bubbles here. Not to worry. So once we get to 15, stop for a sec. So not as noticeable, but there is a tendency of this brush to kind of clump together in the middle when you're loading. And what you have to do is you do have to kind of push down a little bit to get those fibers to open up slightly. So I'm gonna go back in for another 15 seconds here. I don't think I need to add more water to this because it's still a little bubbly. If you hear that sound, well, that might not carry through, but that's another 15. And yeah, you really don't need to overload the soap because it is quite thirsty and you're going to be adding water for a long time if you do. So let's see if this is enough soap on the brush. That's what I always say, right? Let's see if this is enough. And yeah, I'm gonna really try to add a bunch of water to this because it can take a lot, and it shows in its performance when you do properly hydrate it. Rockwell 6S on the 4 plate. All right, first pass completed there. This razor feels very similar to the 6C to me in terms of how it cuts. And the only spot it's been a little more tricky for for me to figure out for some reason has been just here on my lip. For some reason, the angle feels different than what I remember in the 6C. I have used the 6C a lot and I thought I'd figured that out. But then with this razor, it seems a little less forgiving for some reason. So anyway, gonna rinse and then come back for pass number 2. Pass number 2, cross the grain. All right, nice second pass. Everything felt really good there. Going across on most parts of my face. So that's cool. Gonna rinse, come back for the final pass against the grain. Final pass against the grain. Very nice shave. I think this is the closest one I've been able to get this week. I did switch to the 2 plate for the third pass as I usually do, but yeah, feeling pretty good overall. A couple little weepers, but nothing too serious. So we're gonna rinse and then come back and talk to you for post-shave. For post-shave today, as mentioned, the Barrister and Mann Reserve Classic in the old square bottle. This scent is based on kind of vintage men's aftershave cologne. Not sure which specifically, but it has kind of a dark, musky oak moss, lavender, sandalwood, citrus. Those are the 4 notes. And to me, it complements the lightness of the Fougere Mania quite well. Again, the oak moss in this does make it quite dark. I think the sandalwood contributes to that as well, but definitely smells retro, as it says on the bottle. Retro Americana, right? If you want to smell like maybe some of the people did in the 1970s, this one is a winner for you. In terms of the ingredients list, it's got, it's a witch hazel alcohol-based splash with a whole laundry list of ingredients. I guess that's kind of the theme this week, is just laundry lists of ingredients for our software here. But yeah, this takes a few minutes to soak into the face, but then after that, I haven't felt any tightness or irritation by using the splash. It's not the most, moisturizing thing in the world by any means, but it's pretty nice. And again, I think it fits well with the Fougere Mania, which is the main reason why I picked it. Okay, lightning fast recap here. Rockwell 6S. Thank you, Michael Friedberg, once again for sending this to me. I don't think this razor is for me as much as the 6C is. I do think the threading is better on this, which is my main complaint about at least my 6C, is that the threading is very finicky and can sometimes feel quite bad actually. But yeah, it's just a little bit too heavy for me. I love the design, and if you like a heavier razor, then absolutely go for the 6S. This JohnB Dogwood Handcrafts acrylic Timberwolf brush. It's been great using this week, my first week with it. And yeah, it's just great at doing its job in terms of being comfortable to hold and building up lather with that Timberwolf knot. I already told you about the aftershave. And then finally, once again, Fougere Mania, holy cow. The Zero base is fantastic. You saw how much water I put into that, and you could definitely skip your aftershave product if you wanted to, using the soap. And again, the scent is just a very clean, soapy, green sort of smell. So that's gonna do it for me today. I hope you all are staying safe out there. And next week, not sure yet what I'm gonna be using, but as usual, if you have any suggestions or recommendations, let me know and I'll see what I can do for you. So until next time, thank you very much. Bye-bye.